Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Superstars of Wrestling Review Series return. Not a common occurrence these days. We've got over 100, actually over 200 of these. Unfortunately, there aren't that many left, but this is a rare occurrence as we have the 11th of July, 1987, here as a rare episode that we can check out. Iron Mike Sharp and Ken Patera are up first here. Actually, no, I believe that's El Navarro. But anyway, a tie-in with Patera. No, it is Iron Mike Sharp. For some reason, didn't look like him in the photo that I'm looking at to open the program. Anyway, so I mean, Patera had just been coming back. Actually, they hype him on the current edition of the WWF magazine. Had been in jail for a couple of years, about two and a half years prior to this. Arm wringers and a hanging suplex. Patera certainly not the Ken Patera of the early 80s, both AWA and WWF, 80, 82, that era. The time away in prison certainly had not exactly kept him in a good space here. Wins the match against good old Mr. Iron Mike Sharp with a bear hug, but the match doesn't exactly go quite according to plan. We then move to a update report type situation. Ted DiBiase is around. He's talking about and doing the giving money away to fans, and Craig DeGeorge, otherwise known as Craig Minervini, who ultimately was there for about a year and a half, is the main focus here. Not exactly by any stretch of the imagination a nice run, good run there. King Harley Race and King Kong Bundy and Hercules in a six-man tag up next. Bunch of squash matches again. Hercules, Bundy, and that run. Of course, Patera had earlier in the past few weeks had laid out Bobby Heenan by using the belt and wrenching him across the run. Match runs about 2 minutes. Race taking the majority of the match. Hanging suplex eventually by Harley Race gets him a victory here. Then we're hyping the Meadowlands going forward. Not exactly the best or worst of situations here. I say that only because, I mean, what ends up being is a run of, Brutus Beefcake is your opponent here next. And he manages to kind of get what one could consider to be a decent enough run out of things moving forward, although obviously in this particular run of reality, he is, as one can imagine, not particularly moving forward in a terribly wonderful direction. Matches primarily with Greg Valentine and Dino Bravo at the time around the horn. Not exactly going to light up any fires, so to speak. But they're hyping a match at the Meadowlands. Meadowlands, a major stop every 4 to 6 weeks around this time period and continues to be there. Obviously, Bundy also gets a splash in that earlier match, but Heenan's guys are not quite in line for Brutus yet, trying to find where Brutus Beefcake belongs. And, the matches with Valentine Bravo is the main deal. A couple of months off of WrestleMania 3. We go back to the match, Can-Am Connection, Zinc and Martel. Right about this time that it ends, within the next couple of months here. Enhancement match for these two. Obviously, Santana eventually replacing Tom Zink, who leaves the WWF. Terry Gibbs is one of the enhancement talents, and Dusty Wolf is the other in this match. Trying to get something like a Rock and Roll Express, Fabulous Ones vibe out of this. Hip toss. Of course, Martel had been around in 80, 81. Santana had been around in the 70s, and came back in the 80s expansion era. So certainly that's there. You know, flying head scissors by both baby faces. The Islanders are paired with the Can-Ams at this point, and eventually end up paired with Strike Force eventually. Drop kicks by the baby faces. They're in all white and ready to go. Hogan hyping his upcoming series of matches, including a stop in the Meadowlands, as mentioned before, with Killer Khan, who returns to the WWF after being gone since 1981 or 82 around this time. He's here for less than a year and basically brought in for the Hogan run short, and it is what it is. Jake Roberts up next with a squash match here. Short clothesline, a gut wrench suplex, knee lift, and a DDT later. And the Snake Man is in control. He has just, within the last little while, managed to get a run with the Honky Tonk Man, although that doesn't fully go according to plan. A second update within the same program, which strikes me as odd. Maybe there's a segment that got lost. This particular update, though, moving towards the idea of the wonder of a run with Danny Davis, the heel referee. The idea there simply that Davis is officially a heel referee, barred from refereeing for life around WrestleMania 3. Still pushing that, and he is a enhancement talent, or one step above enhancement there, and ultimately leading in a good direction for him. We see Bravo and Valentine, the new Dream Team, with Johnny Valiant on the outside in a tag team enhancement match here. Lots of side suplexes, leg drops, and basic things there. Tag off actually isn't quite enhancement, as Lanny Poffo part of the process, CB Offie the other part. And I mean, it's somewhat competitive, but at the same time, neither guy really getting much out of it. Drop kicks from Poffo, body slams along the way. Poffo, basically one step above an enhancement talent to the stars, does hit a moonsault along the way here, but it's not as though you're really going to get him necessarily to, connect on a deeper level by any stretch of the imagination there. Then we go to hype for a pose down, this time between the returning superstar Billy Graham and Butch Reed, the Natural. That feud runs right till about the Survivor Series, when Graham is done as a wrestler. Honky Tonk Man, your new Intercontinental Champion. Punch, kick, and shake, rattle, and roll enhancement match win for him as he begins to, or continues, his Intercontinental Championship run, which had started less than a month before, June of 1987. That run, of course, gives him the moniker of the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time, as the Honky Tonk Man is a guy who runs for 15 months with the championship. And a final local area promo, this time Hercules hyping a match with Ken Patera. That will close our program. We'll be back with more right after this.